your person right now is being very stubborn. They know that they did you wrong. They know that they were too coward to admit their mistakes to you. They know that they should have apologized like a mature adult and actually make it up to you. But instead, when you were at your lowest, when you would cry to them, or whenever you would tell them about their past, your past, I mean, you didn't think that they would use it against you, but unfortunately they did. So now they are full of guilt and the karma is catching up to them. So they're thinking if this has anything to do with you right now, because what they're going through is very similar what you've been through. So whenever you were feeling your lowest, you were feeling a little bit discouraged about life, and you came to them and you just wanted to be held, or you just wanted to be seen, you just wanted them to acknowledge your pain or just simply listen, they would either laugh at you, they would not take you seriously. In a way, they would laugh at your pain. But now they're going through the same exact scenario. There are people who are laughing in their face. There are people who are not acknowledging their pain. There are people right now in your person's life who have betrayed them just like they have betrayed you. So it's essentially the karma cycle has been completed and they got what they had deserved. Because you see, what they did not realize about you is that you are someone who is highly protected. You're someone who is super powerful in your bloodline. You're someone who has broken the multi-generational curses that's upon your family, right? You're someone who broke the patterns of your childhood wiring. You're someone who's always been going against the grain. So you had faced a lot of battles by yourself. But when you came to your person, it was an act of vulnerability. It was almost a test. You put your trust in their hands to see what they would do with it. Even though you knew if they had betrayed you and they would stab you in your back, you would be able to get through it. But you wanted to be able to trust someone for the first time in a very long time. And you were disappointed by how they have treated you, for how they would push you away. So because of that, because you're someone who is highly favored and blessed, and you are highly protective, now your person has to reap what they saw, right? So how badly they have treated you is how badly someone else is treating them right now, even worse. And this is not something that you are wishing upon them. This is not something that you can even prevent. It's just something that your person has to go through in order to actually feel the pain that you felt, in order to actually see just how wrong they were as a person to you. And actually, it's like the universe is letting them know that you're not someone to mess with. You're not someone they should have just neglected in the way that they did. And you had tried to tell them, you had tried to warn them, and they knew that you were someone who was super special and they never met anyone as strong as you or as calm as you are. So they took your calmness for weakness. They took your quietness and your stillness for weakness as well. They thought that you wouldn't be able to catch up to them, that you would not be able to see the truth behind their lies, that you would not be able to see right through them. They thought that they could just kind of drag you along and not really face what you had brought to the table. And all you wanted for them to do is to actually acknowledge your pain and just be able to be there for you and be someone who is mature enough to be able to face the challenges of life and the reality of life. Because in love and in connection, there's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows. And during that time that you were going through, you wanted them to actually see that ugly and bad side of you, because it was you. It was in your most rawest form, in your most natural form, that you had let your walls down and you said to them, this is how I am, this is who I am, either accept it or not, but I really need you. But they were not be able to withstand what you had brought their way. They didn't know how to deal with it. They were not equipped to be able to deal with your weight and your problems and your issues. And the crazy thing about it is that you didn't expect them to solve anything. You didn't expect them to rescue you per se. You didn't want them to really do anything extraordinary. All you needed was their presence. All you ever wanted them is to be present with you. And your person was someone who was always escaping. They had used ways to escape. It could be through drugs, some type of addiction, or just kind of detachment that they would always have when they were around you. They were not able to be present in everyday life and to be with you, to be able to enjoy this connection. Their heads were always in the clouds and they just wanted to get it over with. They were not building the same connection that you were building or hoping to build with them, because your capacity surpassed theirs. You were someone who can be multi-layered in many ways. You didn't have to hide behind a mask. You never tried to fit into societal norms. You've always been yourself, whether people liked it or not, because you're someone who have accepted yourself for a very long time. But your person never achieved that. Your person have never been able to accept themselves for who they are. They had their own demons that they were fighting on their own, and they haven't learned that you could actually lean into you or lean into someone that they were seeing and be vulnerable and open up. They haven't learned that in love, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be someone that you're not. You don't always have to be happy-go-lucky. There will be times when there's dark times, and that you were able to withstand that with them, that you were able to hold them whenever they needed you to, or to be there for them. But they did not see love that way. They always would see love as something that has to be perfectly curated and it has to be in the way that they want it to be. So they would limit themselves to certain values and certain roles within love life or within a connection. And instead of just embracing the beyond of this connection, instead of actually making their own rules and your rules together to make this into something, to mold this connection into something that could be just for the two of you, that could serve the two of you in the way that makes the world go around. They didn't want to do that. They would just stick to their own old ways, stuck in their own old ways, afraid of the growth, afraid of the vulnerability, afraid of what they can actually become if they would let go of control. So your person was someone who was very controlling and they couldn't stop it. They wanted to control you. They wanted to control your reactions. They wanted you to be the way that they wanted you to be. They were never able to accept the ugly and the bad side of you. They only wanted to see the pretty you. And whatever expectations they had of you, if you were not able to meet them, they denied you. They wanted to push you away. Their whole reality would shatter because the reality of you, of the true you, they were not able to face, right? They were not able to actually coexist with another human being because they were so used to people around them faking it and being someone they're not. They've never met someone as real as you are. They never met someone who doesn't have to fake it. They never met someone who doesn't have to be always perfect. And that's a lesson for them that they need to work on and make sure that whenever the two of you reunite, that they are able to reflect back on this lesson, because it is super important for you, if you do reunite, that your person is able to learn from this and able to face their own shadow, essentially to be able to face their own ugly side and their bad side, just like you did with them.